Welcome back to another part. In this one, we'll talk about landscapes, and I'll introduce you for the first time the landscapes, which are very important in creating your big levels because they can be sculpted, they can be manipulated any way you like. The landscape materials have a lot of features that normal static mesh don't have. So we're going to be using our landscape to create our base floor for our environment. So yeah, we're going to be creating the first landscape as well, and I'll also show you a few tools that we're going to be using in the next few parts in this course. So let's go into Unreal Engine. So in the last part, we have successfully made this into Blueprint. Now we don't really need this level anymore. So let's save this level and let's go into our levels folder and let's click on Abandoned Church and let's open it. So this is the level that we'll be using to construct our main environment, as you all know. But right now we have this floor which we don't need, so let's delete this. And we also have this player start which we don't need, so let's delete this. In order to create a landscape, they are not an actor, so you can't search it through here. They have to be accessed through a different mode, which is up here, and click on landscape over here. So once that is done, you can see how big this is. But since you don't have anything to measure the scale, we'll have to make sure to use something that can help us measure the scale. So first of all, let's bring back our floor and let's delete this player start. And in UE4 Mannequin Mobile, go into Mesh, and then you will see this little mannequin that we have added through the Epic Games Unreal Engine market. So let's bring this in, and now we can see how big this human-sized figure is. So this can help us a lot in terms of measuring the scale for the landscape. So let's delete back the floor. The reason we added back the floor is to make sure that this is at the right level of flooring that we would need. Let's go into landscape, and you will receive this massive green grid. First, right now, what we have is 100 units above the ground level. So let's zero this out. So you can see this is now at the floor level, and you can see how big this is. Right now, I kind of want it a little bit bigger just so that we can make sure to use most of the stuff. So let's change the number of components into 9 and 9 so it is evened out. Now this is a little bit bigger. Now before you create the landscape, make sure that you have enabled the edit layers. If not for that, we cannot use different layers to paint over different stuff or sculpt in different layers like a Photoshop project. So after that, we can click on create. If you actually want to use a height map, you can actually put it into here, but we're not going to use any height maps. So before we click on create, let's actually move this a little bit towards this side. I think that'll be okay. So let's click on create, and now this will be created. So we have 3 tools up top for the landscape in landscape mode. We have a manage, where we can manage different layers. We can import different stuff into here as well. We can manage each different sections like this, which we'll not get into, but we'll get into the sculpt tools, which we can manipulate the ground like this, but it will be in the future part. And we'll also talk about painting so we can texture the landscape nicely. But that is all for this part. I'll see you in the next one.